Policies can be classified into management, administrative, and assessment classes. The choice of policy type depends upon the policy class. Management policies enforce desired collection properties. Example properties could be integrity, authenticity, chain of custody, and arrangement. Administrative policies automate tasks that may require the manipulation of the entire archives. Administrative tasks might be executed only once, such as migration of files to another storage location, or might be executed periodically, such as the generation of a monthly usage report. Assessment policies verify a collection property. This could be a check on the number of replicas, whether the descriptive metadata terms correspond to a reserved vocabulary, or whether the format type is consistent across a collection. There is a correlation between the classification and types of policy. Management policies are usually enforced at policy enforcement points within the data grid. Client actions trigger rule invocation at each policy enforcement point. By changing the rules in the rule base, different management policies can be enforced without having to change the core software. Administrative policies are usually executed as either interactive rules or queued for periodic execution. The administrative policies are set by the data grid administrator. However, it is possible for users to create policies that they can apply to their own collections. In this case, each user acts as the administrator for their own collection and can store their rules as files in the data grid. Assessment policies are implemented as periodic rules. Each assessment policy can be set up with a desired execution time, a desired interval between executions, and the desired number of executions. The execution time can be specified relative to the current time, and it can occur some number of seconds or minutes or hours or days or years in the future. Policies control interactions with users, the data collection, and both hardware and software technologies. Typical policies for controlling interactions with users include the naming of users, the organization of users into user groups, authentication of the user identity, authorization of the operations requested by the user, and presentation of results back to the user. Typical policies for controlling interactions with collections include the naming of files in a collection, the organization of files into a collection hierarchy, the generation of descriptive metadata, the generation of provenance metadata, management of retention and disposition, management of the file integrity and file distribution, and generation of derived data products. Typical policies for controlling interactions with technology include naming of storage systems, organization of storage systems into a storage hierarchy, management of authorized access to a storage system, mapping of actions to the storage protocol, listing of files on storage systems, and retrieval of objects from a storage system. Just as users, files, and storage systems can be grouped together, policies can be grouped. The policy group is given a name such as auditing or security. The policy groups are ordered into a hierarchy. For example, first the auditing policy group may be applied, then the security policy group is applied, and then the default policies are applied. This simplifies application of a meta policies across all policy enforcement points. At the policy enforcement point, the rule engine checks whether the group level policies should be applied before executing the policies that control the requested action. An auditing policy group generates event information about the action, which is sent to an external indexing system. This makes it possible to audit every action taken on the data management system, correlate changes in state information with requested actions, and track the outcome of every action. Note that the audit policies themselves can be audited. A security policy group can implement multi-level security. Persons with a privileged role may be allowed to execute a defined set of operations on a collection, while persons without the privileged role are excluded from applying the operation. Policy groups make it possible to enforce the multi-level security across all actions taken within the data management system. Take 7 minutes to complete exercise 6. Write a paragraph on a policy category. Present examples of policies that are used to control the users of a collection. Present examples of policies that are used to control the properties of a collection. Please load your paragraph into the lifetime library in the sub-collection class INLS 624 by the end of today's class.